Everyone knows that the rap lifestyle comes with riches and fame, and sometimes it comes way too quick. Charleston White reveals that it's no coincidence because, as he said, Satanism is running the rap game. Here's what he means by that. Recently, Charleston White did a not-so-typical interview, and he finally disclosed what he really thinks not just about the rap game, but the whole community that we live in today and what we've allowed to enter our lives without thinking twice. So the very first thing that he talked about, and this wasn't his first time speaking on this matter, is this trend of people saying disrespectful stuff about smoking on deceased rappers or people like Tuka. It's messed up, man. The violence in Chicago's rap community is no joke, and it's hitting hard. Charleston White would like to know why it's cool to diss the dead, but when he speaks up, people get all offended. It's like the world flipped. Some people want to defend their favorite rappers who've done messed up stuff, but when someone tries to fix the community, they get all judgmental. Chicago's Tuka, a young boy tragically murdered at a bus stop, has become a target of a disrespectful and hurtful internet meme known as Smoking on Tuka. This meme has gained popularity on social media even after the deaths of other rappers like King Von, with people making callous comments about smoking on their ashes. Chief Keef was dissing his ops like crazy, but then he also started dissing Tuka. Ever since his track 300, things were just not the same. Then came track after track mentioning his name, even a whole Tuka diss track at one point. Tukas Mom, along with other mothers of other slain rappers like FBG Duck, Lil Mister, and Ray Ray, has spoken out against the violence in Chicago and the harmful nature of the Smoking on Tuka meme. In a tearful plea, Tukas Mom explained that his nickname was derived from attitude while he was in the hospital, and she's saddened and angered by how people have turned his name into a strain of weed and use it in such a disrespectful way. The community is 100% with her on this one. It's a shame that it came to this. One comment said, "They don't even know my son. They just heard his name from somebody else." So damn true. And another one was just disappointed to see stuff like this happen. This must be the most heartbreaking thing ever as a mother. As a parent, your kid is still your kid. To hear people still making fun of her child's murder years later must hurt this lady greatly. Tuka's ma questioned the level of disrespect and asked where it ends. Tuka was a whole person, not just a meme or a strain of weed. He had a loving family and friends who cared for him deeply. The hurtful comments continue to affect her and other families too. And she emphasized that you can't just engage in negative activity and expect forgiveness. It's important to show respect and empathy for the deceased and their loved ones. There's an interview with Tuka's mom, and she claims Tuka wasn't gang-related at all. Even when he got kicked out of school, no one called him a troublemaker. Not to mention he was hanging out with two girls, not the homies. That ain't gang-related stuff. Charleston White told us the same damn thing in the interview. He even highlighted the fact that on the same day that he was taken out, he got in trouble at school. Yet the very first thing that he did was call his mom. He did not try to run and hide like a lot of other kids who were gang-related would perhaps do.
"Mama, I'm at the bus stop." How many gang-related kids, when they get kicked out of school, call their mama? Nigga, it's the time to go dip and dip and dip. Mama! She said, "I just talked to him a minute ago. How could he get killed this fast?" What kind of bad kid check in like that, homie, when they getting suspended from school?
Tuka was just a casualty, not some intended target. That's what his mom said, and she knows her son best. Charleston White was always trying to make people stop saying Tuka's name in vain. The fact that people did it for so long tells you so much about the rap game and how little respect some artists and their followers have for their families who are still in grief. This is just the first issue that Charleston pointed out. He had a whole bunch of others in store. Charleston White insists on this idea that the celebrities that we have in our society are not good role models. Just like Elvis said way back in the day, they're not angels, they're demons in disguise, just like King Von.
King Von is one of the only few demons we done seen die who professed out of his mouth. The Bible says, what's in your heart, it go come out of your mouth. He said, "I'm a demon, man, I'm on demon time." So he one of the only demons, and he was a powerful demon.
What Charleston is trying to say here is that these people have all done sorts of messed up things, and yet we still idolize them. Why aren't some of these rappers who did awful things getting the same shame as snitches, for example? For him, that makes no sense. The generation we live in, we have people who worship idols. These fallen idols, like rappers and entertainers. They are followed blindly, and people think that there's some kind of light in their lives, but really, they're just out for themselves. And it's messed up how people show support for certain rappers, even when they cause harm to others. That's perhaps why C-Dubs went on to say this.
You know what I'm starting to realize?
What's that?
Our celebrities are the demons. They're not angels.
Hold on, say that again.
Our celebrities are demons. They're not angels. From T.I. Gucci Mane, all these are demonic forces.
And you know what? Some people seem to agree with Charleston. One man said, he's telling 100% truth. These famous people are demons. That's why everyone in society has some of the same complexes and problems. And another person agreed and added, people really need to hear this man out deeply. He's talking the truth. And by people, I literally mean the black folks / community. So why did Charleston throw shade at T.I.? And how is he a bad role model and a, quote, devil in disguise in Charleston's eyes? Well, this brings us back to the old beef that these two had, and it got kind of ugly.
It's disappointing when you see your daddy and you think your dad is a gang related, and then you acting this way. You be saying your dad is such and such. So to see that is disappointing, especially if you admire the man.
So T.I.'s son King Harris got into it with Charleston White a little while ago. They were going back and forth, and King called him some not so nice names and threatened to whoop his ass. But Charleston didn't back down. He fired right back on social media saying he's a senior citizen and he doesn't need T.I. in the ring. He wants King in jail. Then T.I. stepped in, telling Charleston to deal with him, the daddy. He ain't afraid of trouble. No security needed whatsoever. He even tried to make things right with Charleston on the phone, but that didn't go well at all. After the call, Charleston went on Instagram Live and kept dissing T.I. He called him out for not winning any fights and even accused him of sexual assault and mistreating women. And he wasn't done yet. He went after King too, with some harsh words. According to Charleston, T.I. is a demon because he's responsible for the death of people, yet he's not only a free man, but he's also glorified by others. Gucci Mane dropped a song called Dissing the Dead, and he's apologizing for all the wrongdoing over the years. He's recognizing that he's starting this whole trend of dissing the dead way back, even before people started talking about Tuka. But now he's trying to put a stop to it and change the narrative altogether. Charleston can think Gucci can make a big difference with his platform.
Big Gucci, somebody like him, yeah, he can change the narrative.
Gucci's really evolving here. He used to be all about that tough stuff, but now he's showing some empathy and remorse. It's like having a good woman by his side has changed him for the better, you know? And Charleston trusts him. He can make a positive impact. Oh, and remember when Gucci mentioned having ghosts in his house? People thought he was still dissing, but Charleston thinks that those demons don't just disappear when you've taken someone's life. Killing someone changes you. You can't be cold-hearted about it. You gotta show some respect to the dead and their loved ones, because they're the ones who still feel the pain. But some rappers got it all backward. They'll disrespect the living in a heartbeat, but they won't say a thing about the dead. Pretty messed up if you ask old C-dubs. We should be loving our neighbors and showing respect for the living, not disrespecting them. Hip-hop culture needs to change that. Now, Gucci's speaking up and trying to make a difference. He's showing growth and maturity, and I think it's gonna have a positive impact on hip-hop. We might be witnessing some real change in the hip-hop gang. Young Thug and Gunna got hit with some serious RICO charges. When Charleston saw that, his first thought was,
Good for the DA. Yeah, good for that district attorney in Atlanta, Georgia, that's gonna utilize these two big name rappers to make an example out of, as well as set a precedent going forward. Maybe these niggas will start writing about I Need Love, like LL Cool J used to write about.
This is what Charleston White was trying to say with that. It's crazy how these rappers put their real-life situations and actions into their tracks. It's like their diary or something like that. They're talking about selling drugs, their crimes, their lifestyles, everything. But when they get caught and end up in jail, they're crying like little babies, saying it's inhumane and all that. It's like they forgot all about that gangsta talk they were doing. They need to stop glamorizing prison and start taking responsibility for their actions. That is actually why he was so glad that they caught these big-name rappers and put them in jail. And there are 27 other YSL members who were caught too. These guys think they're above the law, but the feds, they don't mess around. They got a crazy conviction rate. So he's hoping that they make an example out of all these dudes causing trouble in the community. The best thing for them is to learn their lesson in the pen. And when they get out, they better straighten up and become responsible adults, fixing their family problems and being better role models. Otherwise, they're just adding to the problems of the black community and the hip-hop culture. Time for a change if you ask C-Dub. Bottom line, Charleston Charleston is trying to say that we got to show some respect. Stop it with this disrespectful meme and start caring for each other. Tuka was a person, not just a name to throw around. We as a community got to go back to the basics, and Charleston thinks that he's the voice of this transformation to a brighter and virtuous future. Let's focus on what really matters and stop giving these negative influences all our attention. But what y'all think? Is Charleston on the right track? And can this Satanism that's running in the rap game be cleansed? Let us know what you think down about in the comments section below. Before you go, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more hip-hop related content, and as always, remember to keep it RIZZLE RIZZLE.